So I'm Serena Haynes.
And I'm David Haynes. How long have we lived here?
10 years. Moved from Auckland.
And so we've got a hillside block just on the edge of Walker, and it's 5.5 hectares. Very steep, and majority of it is bush.
We didn't know very much. We thought we did. We didn't realise we knew nothing, and we didn't realise how much hard work it was.
So when we came here, it was vine infested. In fact, I think we couldn't even see most of the land. It was an incredible amount of vines and pulled down trees, and it was in an absolute state of dilapidation. So we worked in a snail-like pattern, starting with the house at the centre, working, clearing, and then going back and re-clearing, slowly working around the house, and established some veggie gardens, started to do some native plantings, started to do some sort of I call revetment plantings with poplars and other stabilisers, and then started to plant fruit trees.
We're getting on top of it, especially you've been cutting back the old Van's beard and the vines and cutting back, and now we're seeing less and less of it.
And then started to fence the land and clear the land and introduce a few stock.
The stock now are mowing areas that I hated mowing because it's steep and terraced, and so the more fencing we can put in, fantastic. That means the sheep are dealing with that.
And we are producing food 12 months of the year.
Yep.
And to supplement that, I'm a keen hunter and a keen angler as well. So we bring meat in and fishing. If we can't grow it, catch it, hunt it, harvest it, we don't eat it. There are a few exceptions when we come to the world of dairy.
Chocolate.
Chocolate, we haven't been able to grow that chocolate tree just yet.
And I'm not giving that out. I'm not myself.
Yeah. There's two phases to how things happen here, isn't there? There's the big project list, the things to do list. And once you tick those off, that goes on to the sort of the maintenance schedule. So we're conscious every time you clear a piece of land or plant a tree, that's on a maintenance schedule in terms of pruning, composting, and improving. You've got to be fit. You can't use, there's no chance of getting machinery. So if I want to put, we put some fish and meal sort of fertiliser on our paddocks, or we might lime our paddocks, then that's all carried in. So, 600 kilos carried on your back, 30 kilos at a time. So you've got to be super, super fit, because you can't get machinery on a steep block. I think passion is quite important. A bit of insanity probably helps as well. What else do you think you need? Have a good view, otherwise there's not much point being up here. Yeah, and just diligence. Look, nothing worth doing comes easy, does it?
We're happy to take advice from people, so we were really happy to go on their land and say, what have you got? How did you do that? What works for you? You've been living in Nelson for a long time. Your property is similar to ours. So we'll just replicate some of the things you've done. Also had a nice lady from the council. She came up and we said, listen, we've got a bank it's falling. What do we do? And she just gave us the list of all these amazing trees and shrubs and said, this is what you need to do. This will stabilise it. These are great for drought.
We've got very little topsoil. It's pretty tough clay, and it's very dry in the summer and can get a bit boggy in the spring and the autumn. So again, looked on their land to see what was working, what wasn't, and tried it ourselves. We did two things. So learning where water flows is really, really important. So we learnt the hard way where the water flows. So we got a digger in to cut some water tables and some drainage points where the water collection points were. And then on those other points, the other areas where we couldn't get a digger, we were planting. So we're planting trees or some grasses. So that would be poplars and carex and flaxes. So anything with a good wide or deep root matrix to hold the soil in place. And we did learn that most natives, particularly the primary species, so your Carnuka and your Mahos, are very shallow rooted and they're completely unsuited for erosion control. So you need to sort of cast your net wider. So lucerne was good, poplar was good, and like I said, the flaxes and the grasses are really good. The other benefits of planting non-native species are they're providing food for birds when your typical, say, your nectar-eating birds, which might be looking at kowhai and flax, they're only around for a couple of months of the year. So we're planting other plants. So our apple trees, the bellbirds love the apple trees, the kerroo love the cherry trees and the lucerne. So we're seeing kind of food being provided for all of the nature. It's an extended food basket for them. So there are other benefits as well. Plus they look really beautiful in autumn when you get those red leaves. All of these blocks have got an organic covenant on them. And it's difficult land to work because it is a slope. So you're going to get a certain sort of person who wants to come and live here. So you're going to get somebody who likes nature, who likes the environment, who gives a damn about the environment. Because it's difficult to be productive here, but I think we probably succeeded more than failed.
We trade and sell our excess produce, so my eggs and veggies to our neighbours, which is fantastic. And if they either buy them as they or they trade them for stuff that we don't have. We
do trade plants and cuttings with them. We watch what they're planting, what we're planting. We all run extensive trapping networks around here just to try and keep a controllable, manageable level of rodents around the place.
Our neighbour Dave and you help sort the pump shed out and keep the water running and checking things like that. When things break or break down, they help us out. They've got that kind of mind that they know how to jimmy something together. And
I suppose that's another benefit, isn't it? Is if you are not a very practical person when you arrive, you sure as well be.
You'll learn pretty fast.
By the time you leave, because you haven't really got much choice. Yeah, so we've got good neighbours, and I think being able to build, dig holes, run a chainsaw, run a scrub cutter, build fence posts, repair things, cut animals' hooves, prune a tree, do some grafting, know your plants, know your insects, and know your soil. It's a real privilege to be able to take those, to acquire those skills and have an immediate practical application for them, and the end result is a piece of paradise for yourself.
Well, we've got that group is a wee gardening group, which is everyone who's got a lifestyle block, whether they do anything on it or whether they just enjoy living on it. We trade ideas, we trade information and skills, and that's fantastic because it helps us.
Yeah, meet once a month, and we've had people stand up, or we get people in and they talk about butchery or grafting or pasture management or making fruit wines or making beer or fixing fences, so or engineering, basic engineering skills. So we get together in the church hall and sit around and learn stuff from each other. It's really good. But one thing we have gained from this, and it sounds a terrible cliche, but to really, really feel and understand that connection with the land, because we're out there every day and you see it every day and you see what's happening. So we know, when like right now, for example, we know all the German wasp queens are looking for somewhere to nest, and we know that it's time to prune certain trees, and we know that the temperature's changing, and we can see how things are changing in the paddocks, so we can see the seasons coming along. And so having that absolute connection with the land is almost a sort of biblical experience for us, really. We've created a paradise. We live in a beautiful country, in a beautiful part of the world, by a beautiful city, and we live what is a pretty low impact life.
And that's hugely important to us, to reduce our impact each year.
We're on an organic covenant, so we don't use sprays, we don't use fertilisers. We try and we consider biodiversity as every living creature, not just not indigenous or natives. So we've created this massive biodiversity here that feeds us, that feeds the animals, that enriches the soil, that regenerates into this entire sort of ecosystem we've created. And it feeds us, and every morning we get up and pinch ourselves and look out at that view and go, wow, we're extraordinarily lucky.